What's up, Titans? It's Tom Knight from Tighten Up Your Game, and today I'm taking you behind the scenes to show you exactly how I create all the drum beats that you hear in my videos, like this one, or this one, or this one. Drumming was my very first love, and fortunately, I was able to turn it into an exciting, lucrative career that took me all over the world. I got to play with some of the most popular artists, secure endorsements, get published in the biggest industry magazines, and meet some really amazing people through it all. And today, you get to see exactly how the drum recording and editing process actually works, and how I create these drum tracks for all my videos here on this channel. Stay tuned. So, the title of this video is Greasing the Groove, which, for me, has a little bit of a double meaning. On the one hand, in the gymnastics world, greasing the groove is a phrase used to describe the act of periodically repeating a technique throughout the day, even on the days in between our workouts, with the understanding that what we're really doing is strengthening neural pathways for a specific body movement. For example, if I want to clean up my bar muscle-ups, I might grease the groove by doing one super clean bar muscle-up every hour or so. Nothing really rigid or demanding. Rather, it's more like a reminder for our bodies as to what we're actually trying to accomplish. And you know what? It's a very effective concept. Now, on the other hand, in the drumming world, grooves, or drum beats, that feel really good are sometimes called greasy. So, greasing a groove, in that sense, simply means adding some funk flavor to a drum beat to really make it pop. So, what I like to do for this channel is to pick songs that I really enjoy listening to, and then recreate those drum beats here in my studio. Or, many times, I'll re-record drum beats for songs that I actually played on, like this first example. What you're about to see and hear is a highly recognizable groove from a popular song that was released way back in 1975. But in 1998, I was hired to recreate that same groove on a TLC song called Unpretty. In the comments below, let me know if you recognize the original song for this groove. Check it out. So as you can see, I'm just recording enough to capture the basic feel of the groove, which I will then duplicate in the editing process to stretch them out into 15-minute-long clips to quickly drop into my videos without having to do any further editing. Okay, the next groove is just a fun little Cuban vibe that most drummers really enjoy playing. I certainly do. Most of the grooves I've recorded so far for my YouTube channel have been funk beats, and I thought, you know what? Might be nice to change it up a little bit and offer a completely different flavor. Check this out. Okay, the third groove today is the opening groove of a fun little video I created several years ago where I appeared as the anonymous drummer in a 30-second television spot for a music school where I taught for many, many years. Here's that video.
Join us at the Atlanta Institute of Music.
Now today, I'm just going to play the opening measure, repeating it so that it creates a nice background loop for all my videos. By the way, you may have noticed a pattern in all these beats so far, and that is that I'm sticking with the groove, rarely deviating from it, except for maybe a couple of really small drum fills. Now, I do this because I don't want these music beds to distract my audience from whatever I might be saying or demonstrating in my videos. So, I'm keeping it simple. All right, here's that clip. Okay, the final groove for today was first made popular back in the mid-70s by a band called Tower of Power. But it was later used in a Prince song that appears on his Graffiti Bridge album. See if you can guess both song names. Show me in the comments if you do. This groove has always been one of my favorites to play. Here it is. So we're going in reverse order from what we recorded. That was the last thing you just heard me play. Now we're editing that. We're going to do that for all four of these. I'm just going to show you on this groove. I won't belabor you by having you watch me do all of the beats, but this is how it works. This is Logic X on a computer, and each one of these layers represents a different drum on that drum set. So the top layer, this layer is the kick drum, the bass drum on the bottom, snare drum. These are the tom-toms. Notice there's nothing there. I didn't really play anything in this beat that needed the tom-toms. So I just deleted those tracks. And then overheads, 2 overhead microphones high above the kit. And then the last one down here at the bottom is the hi-hat mic. And we can go through and listen to each one of these individual instruments, and I can mix each instrument, and then hopefully as a whole it will sound good. So let's just listen to the kick drum. Here's the whole beat, but that's just the kick. That's just the snare drum. You can kind of hear some of the other instruments even when you've soloed individual tracks. But the microphone is so close to that instrument that you really can kind of mix just that one drum. Here are the overheads. Let's listen to just those. And because they're so high above the drum set, it gives it a roomy sound, like you're in the. Doesn't it sound like you're in the same room, right? And then that's just the hi-hat, right? All right. And basically, not to get too technical, but each one of these tracks has any number of parameters that we can use to adjust the way they sound. So this is a waveform for the snare. Let's solo the snare and listen to this with and without that effect applied. That's on, that's off. So, and it's subjective. Everybody's going to hear it differently. But for me, with this turned on, it sounds better, right? And if you look down here, you'll see there's plugins for just about every track in the mix. And all I'm going to do at this point is export the final mix and then take that bring that into another Logic program and just loop it and create a 15-minute long loop, export that. So now on my computer, I will have a 15-minute long groove of just that beat that I can drop into any of my products. All right, let's go take a look at that procedure. Okay, now we're at the point where we're going to edit this into a loop and stretch it out to somewhere around the 15-minute mark. So if we zoom in, you can see this is just one file now. Okay, let's listen to it. See, it's just one file. And it sounds good. I like it. I like the mix. It's got a little reverb in it. It's got some punch. I dig it. It's gonna work. So what we're gonna do, first thing, of course, is we're going to make a copy, right? We're gonna blend those, but we got to figure out where, right? So I think I like the idea of having that fill at the beginning happen every 8 bars. So let's count 8 bars in from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And right about there is where the fill would happen. So I'm just going to trim that back. Okay. So now the beat just ends. All right. And we bring this in. And this is where it gets tricky. It becomes sort of trial and error. Let's just see what we got. Nope. All right, so that doesn't work. See, the rhythm is broken, right? All right, so this needs to come in later. We just need to figure out exactly. I'm going to take a guess here. And I could be wrong. You know, you just got trial and error. That's actually not bad. It's creating the loop point is creating a slight deviation from what I actually played, but if it's in time and it sounds cool, I don't care. Let's back it up and see if we can hear that seam. Yeah, it's in time. Now we can just finesse the transition from the old to the new. Sometimes it sounds good, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to play with it and see. So that's a little bit abrupt. There's something in there that sounds a little abrupt. Let's stretch it out, and that actually sounds smooth. So basically what I did is I overlapped the first one a bit more into the second one, and believe it or not, that cross dissolve smoothed it out. Now it sounds like something I would actually play. And so basically all I have to do is just keep doing that all the way down the timeline until I get to 15 minutes. And what's interesting is it gets easier and easier. It's sort of an exponential growth thing, right? So what I'll do is I'll trim this, do this one more time, and then copy and paste these two and line those up. Then I'll have 4. Copy and paste those 4, blend those. I'll have 8. See? 8 times 2 is 16. 16 becomes 32. 32 becomes, it literally is exponential. So in a very short amount of time with a very few number of edits, I can end up with a really long track. And that is how we make the drum beats for all of my videos.
Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, show me some love by hitting that like button. And by all means, comment below if you'd like me to cover anything specific in a future video. And don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss any new releases. All right, see you on the next one.